Hi, how are you doing? This is Pastor Cheryl. We have a daily little homily or a Bible study, basically. And it's just 10 minutes, so it won't take a long time. And so, meantime, you're learning something. You're learning something from someone with an extensive education. It's nice, right? And that's probably all I can do at my age, is do something like this, and it's reaching the masses. Today's reading, Jesus at 12 years, Luke 2:41 through 52. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover. And when he was 12 years old, they went up according to custom, and when the feast ended, they were returning. The boy Jesus stayed behind in Jerusalem. His parents did not know it, but supposing him to be in the company, they went a day's journey and sought him amongst their kinsfolk and acquaintances. And when they did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem seeking him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting amongst the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were amazed at his understanding and his answers. And when they saw him, they were astonished. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you treated us so? Behold, your father and I have been looking for you anxiously." And he said to them, "Oh, how is it that you sought me? Did you not know I must be at my father's house?" And they did not understand the saying which he spoke to them, and went down with them and came to Nazareth, and was obedient to them, and with his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man. Well, I can imagine that Mary and Joseph, finding that their son was gone, were very frantic and frantically searching for him all the way back to where the source was, searching, because thinking the kid could have dropped off and left their convoy of people, somewhere on the path. And finally going into the temple, they found him. And by then, they were just, really upset. I would be too. I would be very upset. And then they had, "How dare you do this to your mother? And how dare you do this to your parents?" I would imagine so. And she said that she kept this in her heart. I bet you Joseph said something. I bet you he said something. I would have. Thinking about a similar story. When I was a kid, we had these parades that went down North 2nd Street. I'm going to put my keys on my book. And when I was, North 2nd Street was back behind us, and it was a busy, busy street with a lot of businesses. And we had some sort of a parade. I don't remember what the occasion was. I know it was warm out. And there was a bunch of us kids chasing kind of a van, kind of a truck. And they were throwing out treats to us. Potato chips, candy. It was a big deal when we were small, to get some potato chips. My goodness, that was something new. Packages of potato chips back in the 1950s. That was really, really remarkable. We had to have some of those. And so we were chasing this potato chip truck, throwing out the treats. And then they ran out and disappeared. Well, my brother and I, my sister wasn't born yet, my brother and I discovered that we were way down North 2nd Street, really too far to go. And so we walked into a hamburger stand. It was like a hamburger place. And they let us use the phone to call Mom. Have her pick us up. That's what they insisted that we would do. And so, anyway, I was going to say my hair is always puffy on one side. I've got curly hair on this side and straight hair on that side. That's what I inherited. And so, anyway, we called up Mom. And remember, the phone numbers were different back then. Excuse me. We have bugs like you wouldn't believe out here. But, and so the phone numbers were like TR and then 4 digits. And TR meaning Tremont. I don't know why they call it Tremont. And then the 4 digits, I don't remember. But that was way, almost 70 years ago. That's how old I am, yeah. And so anyway, we saw Mom coming, and she drove a bright turquoise Chevy. Remember the 1955 Chevys? They're so popular amongst car collectors today. That thing was a real lemon. It would break down here and there. Mom eventually got rid of it. And so I could see her frantically driving. And we pointed to the people, the adults were with us. That's Mom's car. You see the teal car? The bright turquoise car. And they said, oh, there's so many of those on the road. Which one are you talking about? The one that is driving, looking angry. You can always tell it was Mom, right? And then she picked us up, and on the way home, she was completely silent. She was just, she was really like, they said that Mary kept everything to herself. But Mom was really silent, and we knew we were in trouble, right? And I think she was just glad to get her little kids home. So my brother was like 2, and I was a year and 9 months older than him. We were small. And so this is how parents react. This is how, of course, everything goes through your head. What could have happened to that kid? Today we've got pedophiles, kids that kidnap children. And so anyway, and back then, we had some of that going on. Back in the 1950s, back in the 60s, we had some freakos out there. We really did. And my parents would talk about it. Anyway, tomorrow we will get into the Galilean section. Matthew, Mark, Luke. So then you could see where, these are. I think I've got it the other way. Luke, on this page, has the majority of the story. Matthew has a few pieces. But what one doesn't have, the other one has. And so when we get into these pages, it's all marked up from undergrad and seminary. In my undergrad, I was a religion major, of course. And then we will get through so you can read the entire story. Otherwise, you're going through each book bits and pieces. And it sounds like a repeated story. But this way you have the rest of the story. You got the whole thing. So, anyway, we will see you tomorrow. Click the little bell and a thumbs up and subscribe. And we will continue on with this tomorrow. I'll see ya. Bye-bye.